Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about The Surfer starring Nicolas Cage. What happens when surfing the perfect wave becomes an obsession that devours everything else, family, career, and sanity. In The Surfer, Nick Cage portrays a father desperate to reclaim his past and ride one last wave with his son at the beach that defined his youth. But Luna Bay isn't just sand and surf. It's a war zone of male ego, local tyranny, and emotional decay. Quick heads up, this review may contain the occasional minor spoiler, but I'll do my best to avoid them. This sun-drenched psychological thriller unfolds like a psychedelic descent into madness fueled by surreal visuals and brutal masculinity. From the moment surfers told a cash buyer might snatch his family home from under him, cracks start to show in his psyche. This once idyllic beach is now patrolled by the Bay Boys, a territorial surf gang led by Scally. They humiliate and manipulate Surfer, making sure he knows their community rejects him. As a result, his job, relationships, and mental health deteriorate, all while he clings to the delusion that if he can just surf this wave, everything will align. I think this film is narratively functional and tight. It slowly strips Surfer of all worldly identifiers. He becomes barefoot, sunburnt, dehydrated, rat-eating, and nameless. By the time he earns his right to surf, he's not even human anymore. He's a symbol of obsession and of ego. I think this film is self-aware enough to lean into that descent without ever pulling him back until absolutely necessary. The Bay Boys are a perfect example of toxic masculinity. They're a surf cult masquerading as a community. Their branding rituals, initiation beatdowns, and obsession with hardening up reflect a perverse version of brotherhood. It's the epitome of the alpha bro ideology. I also like the idea that nostalgia is a drug. Surfer's obsession with reclaiming his childhood home becomes his undoing. He isn't driven by survival, but his addiction to a memory. The more he tries to recapture his past, the more it destroys him. Along those lines, his masculinity and ego are shamed. He's forced to make unfair trades and give up his watch, ring, and clothes. He eats garbage and drinks from puddles. Despite being at an all-time low, he stays because he can't let go of that memory. From the first shot of the film, the tone is deceptively warm. The film basks in sunlight and saturated yellows and oranges dominate the screen, however, it slowly turns claustrophobic. The oppressive brightness is almost a character of its own. By the time Surfer is hallucinating, eating a rat, and drinking street water, the tone has shifted into something Lynchian, surreal, and almost apocalyptic. It's absurd at times, but that absurdity is intentional. This film is equal parts satire and slow burn thriller. I really enjoyed the heat haze palette, sun-blasted sand, and close-up nature shots of rats, spiders, termites, kangaroos, and cackling birds. They heighten the surreal and psychedelic tone of the film. The exaggerated fisheye and distortions add to that vibe and underscore Surfer's mental unraveling. I love the long, slow zooms on Surfer's face as he processed shame, rage, and powerlessness. Filmed in Western Australia, I think the coastline is stunning. I was pleased with how the story took such a beautiful environment and made it feel dangerous, claustrophobic, and male-dominated. Speaking of male-dominated, the cast is great. Nicolas Cage is wonderfully timid and unhinged. Julianmcmahon is perfect as the cult-like alpha. He had a menacing charisma to him, R.I.P. Other cast members like Justin Rosniak, Alexander Bertrand, Rahel Rahman, and Nicholas Kassim are also all good. Even the local teens are perfectly cast. Everyone feels as Australian as can be. Now, while the casting is great, not all of the character writing is. It is so hard to root for Surfer in this movie. He's whiny and doesn't have a backbone. When he has an opportunity to fight, he doesn't. So he never fully gains my respect in this movie. Equally as annoying, the Bay Boys are like frat boys on steroids and sometimes dip into parody. I don't find it believable that locals in a civilized town could ever be so hostile as to break people's noses, steal cars, steal clothing, shut off water, and harass others just because they want to make a public space theirs. I could be wrong, but it just feels a little too excessive to be human in such a high-class neighborhood. One other thing I think the movie could have improved on was the pacing. I think this movie was about 5 to 10 minutes too long, and the ending was very abrupt. This movie was a huge slow burn, which I liked, but I don't feel like the climax and ending capitalized on that slow burn. The narrative took a completely different direction than what I thought. I thought Surfer was going to give the Bay Boys the John Wick treatment, and I was slightly let down that he didn't. The ending we get isn't bad, it just doesn't have the emotional payoff I was hoping for. Lastly, to end on a positive note, I like the soundscape. It's just as disorienting as layered as the visuals. It's a whirlpool of whimsical music, harsh stingers, environmental chaos, and emotional undercurrents that shift from scene to scene. I love how the music evolves from gentle, even hopeful, magical realism into dissonant and repetitive drones. It's emotionally synced with Surfer's journey, it enhanced the setting's hostility, it supported the feverdream tone, and it elevated minor moments. It's not there to entertain you, it's there to break you down just like Luna Bay does to Surfer. The Surfer is an ambitious, sunburnt descent into obsession and ego. It's not for everyone, but it's undeniably bold. Nicolas Cage is in full meltdown mode, the cinematography is hypnotic, and the score is just as warped as the characters. I admire how well it commits to its feverdream logic and unflinching tone, even if I didn't always agree with the direction it took. While I didn't sympathize with Surfer, I was fascinated by his unraveling. And while the ending didn't hit me as hard as I hoped, the ride getting there was memorable, sweaty, strange, and steeped in masculine madness. If you like your thrillers surreal, psychological, and unapologetically Australian, The Surfer might be worth the dive. Thank you for listening to my review of The Surfer. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast Goodfriends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.